Trust the people, they tell us. Oh, the voters certainly know their minds, and they will understand if things are wrong and make the right correction, so they say. I wanted to show you a latest snapshot on where we are in terms of the British electorate and political parties. Thought you might be interested to see that in the latest YouGov opinion poll, YouGov, of course, is just simply an extension of the establishment and particularly the Conservative Party, in my view. But nonetheless, this is what they're claiming, that the Conservatives have basically now gone 14 points ahead of Labour. They're up in 43% of the vote. Labour's down under 30% to 29%. Lib Dem's up a couple of points. Green's up a couple of points. And Reform UK, which is, if you like, the rebranded Brexit party, sitting on around 3%. And that would, and so you can see that fundamentally the Labour losses have been shared between the Tories, the Lib Dems and Greens. That's roughly where it's gone to. So what that means is then, if there was an election tomorrow, you can see the figure on the far right-hand column, predicted seats, would see the Tories increase their seats. They'd go from a 365 majority to a 376 majority. Labour, meanwhile, would slump under 200 seats in the Commons, from 203 to 190. Lib Dems would halve to 6 seats. Reform Party, despite it's getting 3% in the polls, would get 0 seats. And the Greens retain their 1 seat they've got down in the lunatic cabal of Brighton. Interestingly, in Scotland, you would see the SNP increase further from 48 to 55 seats, which is a significant win for Nicola Sturgeon. So just looking at this generically, you would say that the big winners are Boris Johnson and Nicola Sturgeon. The big loser is Sir Keir Starmer. Now, just a couple of comments on this one. Why do you think Sir Keir hasn't energized the electorate? Can anyone think why Sir Keir, and here he is with the deputy leader, Angela Rayner, I wonder why they don't haven't been able to make a connection to the British electorate. I'll leave you to think about that one. And as for the Tories increasing their lead, here's a story in the press today how the Health Secretary and his sister own a firm which got a NHS contract for the disposal of sensitive documents to the tune of a value of about 300,000, I think. So yeah, Matt Hancock doing very nicely out of it. But hey, doesn't matter, because the voters are going to trust Boris even more. So this is kind of where we're heading, folks. The notion that the British people, the electorate, would somehow waken up, it's fantasy. Or at least the people who vote are only really prepared to vote for the establishment parties. And in particular, they seem to like the authoritarianism, the totalitarianism of the Boris Johnson regime. So even though it's crushed our economy, even though it has wrecked lives, even though it is clearly now part of a globalist playbook, none of that matters. They're, according to this poll anyway, they are more and more drifting towards that. And the fact that Labour have been so incredibly incompetent, so unable and unwilling to oppose the measures that Johnson has put in place, other than to simply carp about the fact, oh, maybe he should have locked down sooner, maybe he should lock down longer, maybe he should give greater amounts of furlough money. I mean, that's the only kind of token resistance, if you like, from Labour. So that's the situation we are in, where the political firmament appears to me to be hardening around the Johnson regime, which I think is the worst one we've ever had. And I am reminded of this quote from Sir Edmund Burke. All tyranny needs to gain a foothold is for people of good conscience to remain silent. And I think when I look around the UK, far too many people of good conscience are mute, shut up. Some of that's been done by the media. Some of it's been done, it's self-censorship. But at the end of the day, it looks to me like this United Kingdom is heading into an existential crisis, whereby you're going to have the Johnson regime at Westminster dominant, and you're going to have the Nicola Sturgeon regime in Scotland dominant. And those two things cannot continue to mix indefinitely without triggering, I think, the chasm that will result potentially in the breakup of the United Kingdom. Well, those are my thoughts, folks. Do let me know what you think. And can you also please do me a favor? If you're watching this, make sure you subscribe to my Telegram account. You'll see the link down below in the description. So please follow me on Telegram as well as the other platforms. Telegram seems to me to be a much better alternative to the likes of the toxic Twitter. So hope you'll do that. Follow me on Telegram, and I'll catch up with you folks later. Don't forget, we have a live stream at 9 p.m. tonight, a little bit later, with my favorite American commentator, Alana Mercer. So do join myself and Alana at 9 when we will be discussing vaccine passports.